Okay, this is very confusing. Earlier, I started the show with an announcement. It's actually good news for same-sex couples. Federal Immigration Office decided to put a hold on rejection of same-sex couple applications for permanent residency. Apparently, within the last few hours, it has already changed. We are going to discuss that. Very confusing on American Dream.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino & Lowe Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
Attorney Richard Lowe and Pablo are joining us today on Kababayan LA. Richard, we were set to talk about this good news for same-sex couples, but now it has turned into bad news and worse, more confusion. Can you shed light on this?
Well, this all stems from Eric Holder's interpretation of the Defense of Marriage Act, and the CIS was basically saying, given the shakeup of what's going on with the Defense of Marriage Act, that we were going to hold off on making decisions about same-sex marriages adjustment applications until there was some policy guidance from higher up.
Because what was happening before that was same-sex couple applications for permanent residency were being rejected. And so because of this ruling, the hold on the rejection, same-sex couples who have filed, like Pablo, have gotten this ray of hope, right? Mm-hmm. And now it's gotten overturned again. How do you feel about this? How difficult is it for somebody like you?
Well, it's definitely very frustrating. I mean, like you said, I was hopeful that at least the immigration situation for same-sex couples would change for the better with this hold pending on the decision of the DOMA challenge. But now it went back to rejection. So it's very frustrating. I mean, people like myself, we have to find ways to stay legal in this country. Right. You know, we're good people. We really want to work and just contribute to society like anybody else. So we don't want anything for free. We just want to be treated the same as any other married couple.
All right. Richard, we've talked about this on the show before. We've said that immigration laws can change without warning. But this is just drastic, I think, because they just came out with this a few days ago, and now, a few hours ago, they reverted back.
Yeah,
can they do that?
Yeah, they can. I mean, basically, the CIS is struggling with the question of whether they're going to recognize gay marriages as everybody else in the federal government is as well. But I think you can take something hopeful out of this, and that is that at least CIS was considering the idea, because up to this point, it had been basically you weren't getting anywhere with this kind of argument. But the fact that they were taking this under consideration and saying, look, if there's an issue with the Defense of Marriage Act, then perhaps we, Citizenship and Immigration Services, have to take another look at same-sex marriages. So I think in a hopeful way, you can say that this hopefully portends to good things coming later on down the road.
Right. Leave it to Richard for looking at the silver lining. But what happens to people like Pablo now? Pablo, what is your next step?
You know what? I'm not sure, to be honest. Like I was saying to you earlier, I think my only choice is to find a job who will sponsor me to stay legal in the country.
Because right now you're on a work permit from your going to school here,
exactly.
right?
I did my master's.
Yeah,
exactly. I did my master's degree, and I graduated. So right now I'm trying to find a job. But given the job market for any U.S. citizen is hard, imagine for somebody who also needs the extra step of the employer to do the sponsorship.
Okay.
Not many companies are willing to do that,
right.
So it's even harder for myself.
So I'm going to take it from Richard and do the silver lining here. At least you are in status, Richard. What now happens to those who have filed applications and some of them may be out of status? Are they deportable at this point, or can they stay here and wait for some kind of judgment to be made?
Yeah, if you file an application while you were out of status in hopes of gaining some kind of status, then most likely Immigration Service is going to put you into proceedings. That is, issue a notice to appear, and you're going to be into proceedings, and then these arguments are going to have to be made in front of a judge and taken up on appeal. My feeling is that those people who have filed applications based on same-sex marriages are already informed about the fact that they would probably have to go to litigation, because I don't think any attorney would file these kinds of applications without informing their clients as to really the uphill battle that they're going to be facing. So right. I think this is just another step in the long line of litigation that trying to overturn this Defense of Marriage Act.
And I can already imagine same-sex marriage supporters planning some demonstrations to appeal this. Do you know of anything about
I don't know any, to be honest, at the moment, but I know the Immigration Equality, which is the biggest gay and lesbian advocates for immigration equality. They are planning a big lawsuit another one to the Defense of Marriage Act based on immigration benefits. So like Richard said, there's going to be a lot of more battles going on.
Right.
So this is definitely not the last word.
Okay, let's take it to the expert. Attorney Richard Lowe, what now is your advice to people finding themselves in this kind of situation?
Well, I would say that if this was the last resort, that is, if you had no other way of remaining in the United States, you were already in removal proceedings and you had to go this course, then of course you have to make this argument. But if you're not in a place where you have to go forward with an application, I think you need to be very well aware that by filing an application, you're going to be putting yourself in the sights of the Immigration Service, and that may lead to a removal proceedings and your ultimate removal from the United States.
All right, so you have to be careful, but more importantly, we are thankful that we have lawyers like Attorney Richard Lowe and Attorney Allison Aquino helping us. So that's the number on the screen if you want to schedule your appointment. They do give free office consultation. That's the number to call on the screen. Thank you so much. More power to you. Pablo, all the best.
Thank you very much.
We are going to be back on Kababay and LA. Don't go away.